Hi, my Housewives Relatable listeners. It's your girl Stella coming to you once again to talk about it all. I hope everyone that is listening from the United States had a great Memorial Day long weekend. So, there's a lot to cover regarding the RHONJ reunion, but first I wanted to bring up something. So, I have a video on YouTube called New Wedding, Same Groomsmen. That video was released right after Teresa's wedding special last week or a couple weeks ago. And it was mentioned by Dana Wilkie, who I absolutely love, although I do not know her personally. So just a little bit of history on this video and how it came about. So earlier this year, I was surfing the net and I came across a comment made by someone on Reddit. The comment read, I came across this bonker lawsuit online. It's about Louis Ruelas. And of course, I opened it and I saved the document, which contains approximately 159 pages. So as we all know, before Teresa, Louis was to get married to another woman back in 2020. So his former fiance had a wedding website with the name of their entire wedding party with pictures and a little bit of a blurb on every single one of them and their connection to the bride or to the groom. So fast forward to a few weeks ago, as I mentioned before, on my podcast, if you listen to my previous episodes, I do bring up Dana Wilkie. And I say to my listeners, I encourage you all to go and listen to the interview on Dana's actual Patreon and to purchase the interview. So I know some people have downloaded it and some people have shared it freely on social media, or even other bloggers have spoken about the content of this interview. But for my part, I feel like Dana took all the risk and she did an amazing job and a great amount of investigative work when it came to that particular interview. So just out of respect for her intellectual property, I did not divulge the content to my listeners. And I even said that a few of the allegations made by the gentleman, they can be backed up and verified. So unless Dana herself decides to release the audio to the public, I still don't feel like it's my place to talk about the content of it all. So I tend to remember silly details at times. And because I have listened to Dana's interview with the former boss, there was a statement made by him about Louis Ruelas traveling to Canada, like a lot to Canada back in the 90s and early 2000s. So at the time, I did not think anything of it, but after the wedding special, and you know that part where Louis is introducing his groomsmen, I remember I had those documents, and I wanted to see if some of the groomsmen at Teresa's wedding were the same one that were supposed to appear at the 2020 wedding. So then I recognized a few of them and I decided to, just read the blurbs again. And that's when I saw the statement of Louis and his business partner traveling extensively to Canada as much as 4 times a day at times. And that business partner and Louis have a relationship for over 23 years. So in my video, when I read the blurb and I mention Canada, I just want to say it's not by accident. So someone picked up the video and sent it to Dana, and I'm so glad she picked up on my tone and made the connection. And she decided to tell the story, which is great. And that's her story to tell. So for those of you who are only listening to me on my podcast, on Podbean, Spotify, or wherever else you like to listen to your podcast, you can find my 4-minute video on YouTube called New Wedding, Same Groomsmen. And again, if you have not listened to Dana's interview with Louis' former boss, please do. It will give you more insights on why Canada is so important and talk about the many trips to Canada. And Dana, I just wanted to say thank you so much for the shout out and the token of love. I appreciate you just as much, and just thank you. I just want to thank you for mentioning my name.